Hi, right, so now it's time for the practical phase of the vertical garden project. So you've joined me outside, the weather is just about holding, so we'll try and do it here and we'll see how we get on. Right, so if you remember, we needed a plastic bottle. Now it could be any kind of plastic bottle. I've gone for a fizzy pop bottle and a plastic milk carton. I've got some scissors, some seeds, very important, remember you need some seeds or sapling. And I've got some compost, so compost or soil. I've also got some string. It's not essential at the moment, but I'll show you how we're going to use that at the end. Right, first things first, pick which bottle you're going to use. I'm going to use a milk bottle to start with, so I'll put that to one side. We're going to take our scissors and we're going to cut a hole in the top. Now it could be any size hole, you need a decent size so you can get your soil in, and then you go plant your seeds inside. But you know, it doesn't have to be measured out or anything. So very carefully, you may need some assistance for this, just stab a hole in it and then start cutting out a section. So there you go, that's it as its basic form. You can spend longer making it a bit smoother, making it a bit tidier, but that'll do us for now. So make sure your lid's on and the hole's cut in top of your plastic bottle. We're now going to fill this with some compost. So get your hand in there, get the muddy, put some in there. Key thing would be to say, to do this either outside or somewhere where you're allowed to get a bit of dirt on the table. Do it on your parents' best tablecloth. So we're going to put that in there, make sure that's full. Brilliant. So once we've got that, we've got the amount of compost that we want inside our plastic bottle. Give it a tidy up. And then we're going to plant our seeds. Now you can add some water at this point, or you can plant the seeds and water it afterwards. So we've got our seeds there. So we can use any kind of seeds. Remember, the inspiration for this project was Paul Matavu, and he made a vertical farm, so you could plant vegetables or salads. But here I've just got some flower seeds. So we're going to plant these. Sunflowers are particularly good because they grow fast. Depends what you want to do for your garden. Put them in there, cover them over. So when you put your seeds in, you want to make sure there's some soil on top of it, some compost on top, so you can either add a little bit more or you can tuck them in a little bit like you're tucking them up in bed. So really it's as simple as that. That is the first stage of our vertical garden. And what we can do with that, we can put it on a windowsill until it germinates and we can put it outside. Or, as I said earlier, we can use a piece of string and we could tie that to two places on here. So we could tie it around the handle, around the bottleneck, or the end. And if we tied that on, we can then hang that up on a fence or on a conservatory or something like that. Brilliant. And just to show you what we can achieve in a few weeks, this is what I did earlier. So this is some sunflowers growing for some sunflower seeds that I did. Now, as you'll see, they're a bit twisty and a bit long. Once they start to get this big, we need to support them. And this one actually started growing underneath this, so it's had to grow out of there to clear that and so we can get some sunlight. Sunflower seeds are particularly fast at growing. But as I said earlier, don't worry if you haven't got a plastic bottle or as long as you've got some seeds and some soil, we can plant anything. So I use an old coffee jar, and as you can see, it's really interesting if you plant a coffee jar because it's transparent, you can see the roots inside. Don't know if you can see the roots there, all the white roots coming down, and obviously they're getting really big, so they probably need replanting. One idea I did have was to use a skewer. You can put that in, and then we can start supporting them, and they'll grow even taller. Brilliant. Well, great stuff. I hope you have fun doing that, and then after you've made the basic concept, we're going to have a think about how we can improve on that and make a more elaborate one. Right, thanks for joining me.